Disney Company, mostly known as Disney, is an American multinational mass media and entertainment outlet.
The company focuses on diversified international family entertainment and media enterprises that consist of multiple networks, parks, resorts, studios, consumer product, and interactive media.
Its mission is to entertain, inform, and inspire people around the globe through the power of unparalleled storytelling.
With the use of creative minds and innovative technologies, Disney has created the empire that it is today, giving us movies like Pinocchio,
Toy Story,
Star Wars: The Force Awakens,
and Iron Man.
However, acquisitions have been a major vehicle of growth for Disney. Even though Disney produces flawless content under its own name, it has used acquisitions to become the property rights owner of blockbuster films and TV franchises from other entertainment companies.
For that reason, the following video essay will discuss the history behind Disney's most known film and entertainment studios.
Explain the reason behind these studios agreeing to be owned by Disney,
And the cultural meaning of Disneyfication of media and how it affects what we watch.
The Walt Disney Corporation phenomena was founded by Walter Elias Disney. He was born in Chicago in 1901. Walt Disney, as he is mostly commonly known, was the fourth son in a family of 5 children. The family had many financial struggles, making them move from one city to another to try and find financial stability. The Disney brothers were reportedly subject to work and physical abuse from their father, making them run away from home. Walt Disney left his home when he was 16 years old. In 1919, instead of finishing high school, Walt Disney pursued a dream of his by drawing at a commercial art firm located in Kansas City. Walt Disney dabbled with animation for a couple of years. In 1922, he formed his own company, Laugh-O-Gram Films, where he started production for Alice in Wonderland, having the combination of live action and animation for this film. In 1923, Walt moved to LA with his brother Roy, with hopes of getting a job with a film studio. When he failed to do so, he revived his Alice in Wonderland cartoons. Disney convinced a New York company to distribute the cartoons, and he then convinced his brother Roy to be his business manager. On October 16 of 1923, the Disney Brother Cartoon Studio was officially formed, and it is now known as the Walt Disney Studio. The studio produced 56 Alice in Wonderland shorts. They also had quite a success with the animated character Oswald, but they discovered that the rights to this character were owned by Universal Pictures. It all started with a mouse. Thanks to the loss of Oswald, Walt created Mickey Mouse, whose name at first was Mortimer. Mickey Mouse was an instant success not only with the public but with the distributors and theater owners. Thanks to that, the Disney company got a secure distribution contract with Columbia Pictures to produce additional Mickey Mouse cartoons.
Pixar's innovative form of 3D animation revolutionized one of the essence of storytelling. According to Pixar's website, starting in 1979, George Lucas recruited some software engineers to head Lucasfilm's computer division, a group charged with developing state-of-the-art computer technology for the film industry. But it wasn't until 1984 that a group of software engineers developed an impressive 3D animation with the purpose of creating its first short film, The Adventures of Andrew and Wally B. This film became known as the future of animation, as it featured complex, flexible characters, hand-printed textures, and motion blur. It is also the first example of character animation in the young medium of computer animation. In 1986, Steve Jobs purchased the computer division from George Lucas and established the group as an independent company, Pixar. By this year, Pixar and Disney began collaborating on the computer animation production system, which revolutionized the creation of traditional animated films. The first check written to Pixar by a client was from Disney for working on this project. After this important partnership, Pixar began to release numerous short films like Luxo Jr., Red Streams, Tintoy, and Knick Knack. But in 1995, Pixar elevated their game amongst other animation studios with their feature film, Toy Story, making it the first animated film to be recognized by the Academy Award with nominations for Best Original Song, Best Original Score, and Best Original Screenplay. Not only is Pixar responsible for introducing the highest of technology when it comes to software engineering and art, but it also responsible for compelling millions of audiences by the way in which they use storytelling to engage both children and families with their much more relatable narrative. In the book Pixar and the Aesthetic Imagination, John Lasseter, Chief Creative Officer of the Pixar and Walt Disney Animation Studios, explains that Pixar's mode of production is one with storytelling, driving technological innovation, with their stories rely on an emotional, compelling character and its growth throughout their journey. This may sound as something that every film does with their characters. The only difference is that Pixar is able to humanize the characters with issues or problems that both kids and adults may go through. By doing this, Pixar is able to expand their content to all types of audiences. In 2006, Disney bought Pixar for $7.4 billion. Steve Jobs became a member of Disney's board and the largest shareholder of the company. The main reason for the merge between Disney and Pixar was for Walt Disney to acquire it and use the modern animation technology of Pixar to expand its reach in the entertainment market.
In 2009, Disney decided to dip their toes in the superhero movie making business. Disney acquired Marvel Entertainment for $4.64 billion. This acquisition gave a breath of fresh air to the superhero genre, and combined with the financial assets of Disney, this acquisition of an already established entity, which dates back to 1939, may have been one of the best decisions Disney could have made. The company that they bought for just over $4 billion is now worth over $50 billion according to Forbes. In addition to Marvel Studios, Disney also acquired Marvel Television, Marvel Animation, Marvel Internet Productions, Marvel Toys, Marvel Music, and Marvel Worldwide, which publishes Marvel Comics. Though Disney acquired Marvel, they were not able to acquire all the assets Marvel had. Such characters, such as my personal favorite Spider-Man, was sold to Sony in the 90s while Marvel was facing bankruptcy. Sony would then come to an agreement to let Spider-Man into their movies. Other characters such as the X-Men and the Fantastic Four were sold to 20th Century Fox, which was later purchased by Disney. Disney is now in its fifth phase of Marvel movies, with the most recent one being Ant-Man. This purchase has now set up Disney to make movies in the superhero genre for years to come.
When Star Wars debuted in 1977, it was like a breath of fresh air. The film was unlike anything else in theaters at the time. George Lucas, who considered himself separate from corporate Hollywood, took to studying old legends and mythology rather than current politics. Lucas was very worried about protecting the rights to the sequels. He had no interest in the studio, inhibiting his creative vision. Lucas took out a loan from the bank and financed the entire sequel, Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back, by himself. The film continued to face difficulties with production. However, after more nail-biting events, Lucas' investment paid off with another successful movie. George Lucas went on to make numerous sequels and series for the Star Wars universe. He then sold the rights for Star Wars to Disney for more than $4 billion in 2012. Under Disney's brand, the Star Wars universe has only continued to grow.
According to Oxford's Dictionary of Media and Communication, Disneyfication is a cultural phenomenon that refers to the commercial transformation of safe entertainment or environment which is often controlled.
When Disney bought Pixar, fans had nothing but excitement. When they bought Lucasfilm, fans were cautiously optimistic. When they bought Marvel, that optimism turned into concern. Then they bought 20th Century Fox, one of their biggest competitors in the movie-making industry. A lot of fans came to an agreement that Disney's growth had become downright terrifying.
Personally, I think that the Disneyfication of these media outlets is a bad thing. I believe that it creates a monopoly, and in the past, monopolies have not really been a good thing. So yeah.
Well, in my opinion, I just think that it's scary that right now we see that Disney owns a lot of stuff, and mostly all of the media that we see is owned by them. So it's just scary to think what's gonna happen in the future, to see like they literally control what everyone is watching.
I have to agree with Marifet because I think it's largely seen within the biggest companies like Marvel, Pixar, and Lucasfilms. Where we see kind of like the same morality played throughout each film. And for instance, I've noticed that for Pixar films nowadays, they seem more like childish instead of the old
concept they had, that it was for both families and children. Now it's like very childish, and you cannot relate a lot to the characters we see in the films.
Well, honestly, I have to agree with my colleagues here. There's not a whole lot I can say about the negative side of Disney now, since we mentioned a lot. But if I had to focus like on a positive thing, I would say that Disney protects and shares like their, I guess you could say, their products. So it's almost guaranteed that all of these movies and films, they're gonna keep building them in the future for our kids. So maybe that is a good thing, but at the same time, there's a lot of negative things because it is a monopoly.
Hi. Hi, I'm Dominique.
My name is Chris.
My name is Marifer.
My name is Alvaro, and you just watch.
You just watch
And you just watched
our Disney video.